son? Where'd you find this?
Oh, baby, we have a new location. Holy shit. A little bit echoey in this room. I'm curious if it picks up on the mic as well. But plenty to discuss today as stonks, and pretty much all markets just going up to the fucking moon and beyond. And Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin actually seeming to put in that next higher low that we were looking for at the end of last week, and perhaps charging back up. I think this is going to be the week where it does try for a new higher on this rally. Should come relatively soon if it's going to be coming at all. Anyways, I'll check in on the comments over here. Hold on, it's a little bit strange dealing with the new setup. It's like I don't even know what the fuck's where is what and what is where. I don't know, but we have the what. We have the power of the what's back in this bitch. Anyways, yeah, the echo is insane. All right, my apologies on that. I can probably actually fix that while we're on, but maybe I shouldn't fuck around with it while we're here. You never know what's gonna happen, man. There typically is like an echo killer. Well, maybe it actually won't work right there. Fuck, there is no echo killer. God damn it. Oh, well, whatever. We shall persevere. We shall move on. The echo sounds cold. Echo! Yeah, fuck yeah, man. I'm in like a humongous room right now, so it's not the best soundproofed room of all time, but we shall work on that going forwards. Anyways, only gripe I have with the new setup is Krown over the symbol in the upper left corner. Yeah, you're actually not the first person to complain about that. I'm guessing you don't like it because you can't see the symbol of what's on screen. However, there should be. Sounds like Krown's in a jail hallway. That's right, and I'm dropping the soap every fucking day too. You should be able to actually see, if you're looking for the ticker, there is kind of a watermark on the actual chart itself. That's probably a little bit easier, but if you really want, I could probably adjust it. Oh man, this might be a terrible idea to do on video. Let's see, can I? Oh no, that actually doesn't work that way. Okay, that's actually incredibly strange. I'm gonna play around with that after stream because that is potential to be a disaster if I fuck it up. Anyways, because AI looks terrible. It's not fucking, people just hate AI to hate AI. It's so strange to me, man. Look, it's the future whether you like it or not, man. I mean, for fuck's sake, get on with the future or don't, but for fuck's sake, I mean, that's not like, what the fuck? It's an overlay, sir. It's an overlay. Relax. Anyways, yeah, man. Hero GM homos, no yelling, says El Satoshi. Wow, amazing. That's my wife, by the way. Crazy person, but still love her anyways. We had a nice little day yesterday for Mother's Day. I'm curious, what did your parents get you for Mother's Day? It was a good day. It was a good day indeed. Had a lot of family over. It's quite nice, actually. Anyways, Krown just got real quiet, lower voice levels. Did I actually fuck this up already? Hold on, let me know, sir. Yeah, it's very possible. It's pressing a bunch of buttons over there, so who knows what the fuck just got hit up. Perhaps I can increase the output here, or sorry, the output gain at least. Let's put that up to like 5 or so. That should help a little bit. But yeah, anyways, please say assalamu alaikum. I actually have no idea how to say that. Assalamu alaikum, is that how they say it? I'm not sure. I took my mama to lunch and got her flowers. Very nice, preppy, very nice, peppy. AI will kill us, but still love it. That's right. We should invest in our future, invest in our demise, because, well, really, it's the only way at this point. And let's go check on traditional marks right here. I got SPY futures up on the board. We can see new all-time highs upon new all-time highs upon new all-time highs. Who would have guessed this? Well, if you've been looking across the internet, very few people apparently, because it's been a bear market. But I don't know. When I look at that, it seems very obviously to me that it was a bull market, and we were looking at this way back on over here in early April on the reverse from 68.14. Seems like fucking aeons ago, but realistically, it's just about a little over a month ago now. And in this case, I just want to again highlight when you have a reversal like this, it runs fucking fast, man. It runs super fucking fast. So that's why that's where we were very, 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 very loud over here saying, hey, don't try to overthink this shit. It's very likely to make new highs and significantly new all-time highs. This is a runaway rally. This is what a runaway rally looks like. Bitcoin's not a runaway rally. This is a runaway rally, and that's exactly what it looks like. And again, I still do have targets higher overall for this rally. 7,700 is kind of where I'm looking towards. However, we should be very much aware here that SPY futures are back around the 1.618 Fibonacci extension, which is 74.66. It's getting very, very close. So it hasn't officially hit there just yet. Another $20 or so, and you will be there. And that is another sort of short-term pullback region. Does it pull back on a daily? Does it pull back on a weekly? I don't know exactly how it's going to formulate, but ultimately, I would be a little bit cautious in the short term around this area after, maybe another 20 to $30 higher. Now, is that just going to be a daily pullback? It's very possible. It doesn't really show up that much. But I would be, if I'm a short-term trader, just a little bit on edge around that region. Again, with the overall understanding that SPY futures is very likely to go higher, somewhere around 77.30-ish regions, kind of where I'm looking for at minimum on this move for the more long term. And that looks like it's probably going to happen sooner rather than later, probably going to be a summer thing. If not, maybe even sooner than that. I guess it's very, very possible here. Shit, we're almost in summer anyways, so I guess it's not saying that much. From there, I guess 8,000 plus is where I'd be looking towards. 8,150 would be the next sort of major number on my board that I'd be, adherent to. But again, end of this year, Q4 is where I'm expecting a major top. Maybe it's a macro top, but definitely a major top is what I do have in mind. Until then, pullbacks are for buying, and those are kind of the areas that I'll be looking for on pullbacks, and opportunities still abound higher. This market is just, it's being run fucking hot right now. Everyone knows this. It seems to me that Trump actually might be employing the Japanese playbook from like the 1970s. Who knows if that's going to work or not, but hey, look, I understand there is an issue. Like when we talk about the fundamentals of the market, there is obviously an issue with the US because, we have insane amounts of debt. However, I don't really know what the previous administration was trying to do. It's just like business as usual, I guess, maybe a managed decline. I don't know. However, it seems like the Trump administration is intent on trying to grow our way out of it. That is a fucking gamble if I ever saw one. If they pull it off, they're going to be the biggest geniuses of all time. If they don't pull it off, then history will not treat them well. I'll put it that way. And to be quite honest, whenever countries have gotten into our position right now, it's rare that you're able to pull off something like that. But hey, you got the AI tailwinds in your sights. You got the robotics tailwinds in your sights, as well as a lot of other things too. So I guess if there was a time to try something like that, I get it. You got to try some. I don't think just a managed decline, is ideal here. But yeah, anyways, back onto actually traditional markets before we go into Bitcoin. Want to look at some NASDAQ futures. Same thing, a little bit stronger here. So we are seeing the tech sector once again rise up and lead this market, which is very interesting, but it's a different set of the tech sector. It's no longer the NVIDIAs and the Microsofts and the Googles, although they have been doing okay. They just haven't been like the big, massive, girthy winners. It's been obviously AI and robotics as of recent, and mostly, I forgot the biggest winner. The biggest winner is obviously fucking semiconductors, which has gone absolutely lunar as of recent. In fact, let's go check in on, whoops, no, not that one. Let's go check on the major indice there, symbol SOX. And yeah, this one still likely has higher to go. This is, as many people have said, very reminiscent of 1999. But keep in mind, once you get into these crazy territories, the craziest shit of all time happens. If you were around in Bitcoin in 2017, something like that, basically, basically something like that. And I'm still looking around end of year for these things to find major tops. You have just like the perfect fucking backdrop with, the rallies at that point. You got to imagine that these things are going to be very, 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 very extreme come like September, October, November, especially. And then on top of that, you have one of the most just classical topping signs for markets, which you have got a lot of these major IPOs coming out from a lot of these, AI inspired names that have been trading privately. And those, historically speaking, that has been the time when you at least get a major top and perhaps even, a macro top. So until then, I think the music is still going. Until then, I think, markets just float upwards and onwards. It's going to be very, very confusing for the bears who ultimately are going to be right, but they're just going to be early, and that's going to be very, very painful because, when these things do top out, yeah, they're probably going to come back down around where things started off in April-ish, something like that. But how high do things get before that? I mean, that's a real question, man. Sequoia says, I can afford socks, let alone a position in socks. Yes, indeed. Inflation kills us all now, doesn't it? That doesn't matter when you can just print money. True, yes. I mean, there certainly are much more sophisticated arguments than what I just kind of gave credence to with like, oh, debt is high, thus bad problems. I do understand it's a lot more nuanced than that, but look, I'm not a fucking economist, and I completely understand that it is much, 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 much more complicated than what I can fully comprehend, and so a lot of it goes over my head. But anyways, I do understand your point. It's not that simple. There are tricks that the U.S. can certainly play, and at the end of the day, one thing that I do come back to, and again, we're just speculating right now, okay? Like, I'm not the person to go to for this, but if I were to put my best ideas forward, at least as of this moment, very minimal thought has gone into this, but if I were to, I would say, okay, even if the U.S. lost its #1 reserve world currency status, and we go into a multipolar world, because the U.S. will still very likely be in a very strong position, actually. If we go into a multipolar world with, maybe China as the other sort of adversary, I mean, that seems to be quite obvious. It doesn't necessarily mean that things are going to be all that bad. I mean, shit, man, it wasn't that long ago that we were in a multipolar world anyways. I mean, for fuck's sake, from the time of World War II ending in 1945 to basically 1990, it was a multipolar world. You had the U.S. versus Russia. And did the U.S. do well during that time? I mean, generally, yeah, it's not bad at all. So, in fact, many people look at that as like the golden era, right? So, I don't know, maybe sometimes you need an adversary to, to promote, to give yourself the sort, your own incentives to kind of strive for more. Because, we've gotten complacent. We've certainly gotten complacent as of recent, unfortunately, which just it's a symptom of a very successful, system, I suppose. Anyways, one moment. Oh, that og was oh so fucking good, man. Still gonna make it. Still gonna make it. Yeah, man. Anyways, I gave my mom the Reverend Ribbon quant bands. She's becoming a real trader now. I love you, Mom. There you go. That's a great gift for Mother's Day. Give them the Reverend Ribbons Mother's Day bands. Fuck yeah, man. In fact, we should go check on that right quick as we get into some Bitcoin's analysis. Bitcoin, I really don't think it's any more complicated than this right now. If you're looking at Bitcoin, last week on Thursday would be that next higher low, or Thursday, Friday, whatever it was. Sorry, it was actually Friday. Friday's low will be the higher low if Bitcoin is bullish here. That is the way that I interpret this, and also it is aligning nearly perfectly with the mid-band on Reverend Ribbons indicator. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that if the rally is still healthy, which it is, as long as Bitcoin is above that, we expect Bitcoin to go sideways and up from here. No more pullbacks, no nothing like that. Pullback over already, and still looking somewhere around 85 to 87, or maybe even 88,000 bucks for Bitcoin on this rally. However, again, that does set in the natural validation at last week's low, also basically the daily Reverend Ribbons midband at about 79,300. As long as Bitcoin's above there, looking sideways and up, all good. Below there, I do look for a greater pullback now, probably down somewhere around 70,000 bucks. And I do personally think that that's going to be the last opportunity in this market to get into long-term long positions, for Bitcoin's next cycle, if there is one, or just Bitcoin's next major rally, let's say. Until then, I think if you were already in this rally, you can ride it as long as you're above that number. But the second that you start to go below it on a daily closing basis, rally in the short term and medium term is canceled. It's over, and be ready, like I said, for 70,000, somewhere around there. Maybe it's a little bit lower. Maybe it's right at 70,000 bucks, but somewhere around there. Anyways, quick announcement as well. Holy shit, I can't believe I forgot this. And what am I getting texted about right now? Oh, yes. More, of course. Always getting, look, these fucking firearm dealers and shops, where you buy like optics and rifle parts and shit like that, don't sign up to their email list, or don't give them your fucking number, because they text you every day, all day. These people are master fucking marketers, and they got me, man. They fucking got me good. But it's fun. I'm still having fun. Anyways, yes. Okay, now where was I? Oh, fuck. I just completely lost my train of thought because I am an absolute fucking redact. Oh, God. Anyways, yeah. as far as Bitcoin's rally, like I said, same thing as last week, same target still. We're still looking at that green 55 EMA on the 5-day time frame. This can actually extrapolate now into the weekly time frame. We'll go over that in a moment, but still, this is relevant in this case because we do have that same corrective setup between the red 5 EMA crossing above the yellow 21 EMA. And historically speaking, anytime that we've seen this, we've seen a pretty quick corrective move up to the green 55 EMA. These are all the previous times in Bitcoin's history. Like I said, this is not a good trading strategy, or at least I would not trade it as, as stated right here, but it is really, really good for just general directional buys on YouTube. And again, that green 55 EMA has now come down to 84,733. That is a minimum target. So, again, as long as Bitcoin's above 79,300, I would be looking for that number at minimum to get hit, maybe as much as, 87 to maybe even 88. But that's kind of where I'd be looking for this rally to get some pushback from. And personally, where I think that the rally will end and we do get a pretty sizable and probably kind of scary pullback. Still long term, if you're very, very long term minded, I think that these are good value areas. And also another thing that I'm keeping my mind's eye on over here too, and some of that actually I've completely discounted in the past couple weeks, but much to my dismay, because it's actually been fucking super money recently, is the Pesto Fear and Greed Index, which of course comes a part of the LTI. I just remember where I was going with that earlier statement. We'll get into it in a moment. But yeah, the Pesto Fear and Greed Index, the way that we have the settings tuned right here, it's actually been marking off incredibly well all of the. Okay, let's actually let it load first, maybe. It's actually been marking off all of the, all of the local lows and local highs incredibly well whenever we do get these sort of more egregious reads. I'll wait for it to load. I don't know why it's taking so long this time. Usually it's rather fast. But anyways, in the meantime, I'll explain what I was going to explain earlier. Holy shit, I completely got sidetracked there. So last week on Thursday, I briefly mentioned that I was going to start a very, very small group, 10 to 12 people, of which we'll start in about June 8th, in which, I can work a little bit more closely with analyzing charts and basically giving highly, highly, highly detailed information about essentially what they're looking for. Again, this is not going to be a signals group or nothing like that, but the idea is you prompt me with your favorite charts or charts that you're looking at for long-term investments, specifically long-term investments. This is not for short-term traders or anything like that. Maybe at some point we will do something like that, but this is specifically for long-term investors. And then I will go through a full-on fucking hyper-detailed analysis relevant to your interests there. That's the idea with that. And I'm going to be using that to train my own AI so that I can, basically have it analyze charts for me. I've already trained my own AI with my stuff, but the problem is that I only have my own perspective, my own, preferences, and naturally, there's a plethora of different people out there. And so I really want to get people of that sort asking, more higher conscious questions, let's say. I think that's a diplomatic way of putting it, so that I can start to appropriate the model so that it understands different sort of, tolerances and whatnot. Anyways, the value for those people obviously is that, I'll just basically tell you exactly what I would be doing in those situations. And a bunch of people emailed Elsa about it, elsa.crowntrading@outlook.com. And we've actually had a lot of signups already, but I should say that there's been a lot of people who have not responded yet. So I just want to let you know, if you haven't responded, we are going to go ahead in a couple days and give your spot to someone else. Just, you have to have some sort of time limit, right? But yeah, and for whatever reason, time limit, God damn it, this one doesn't want to load right now. It's very annoying. Maybe it's because I'm not on Bitcoins. No, I am on Bitcoins and still not loading. Okay, this is strange. Pesto, help me, please. Kidding, man. I'm sure it's just a TradingView being TradingView issue right here. Very annoying when TradingView does do that, but yeah, unfortunately, it happens more often than not when it comes to TradingView. Looks like it won't even load on this one either, so perhaps I'll ignore it and bring it back later. But I just wanted to show the Pesto Fear and Greed Index was actually marking off all of the last local highs throughout these past couple weeks and local lows. So I need to bring that back into the mix because that has been incredibly good, and it would have alerted us to that higher low at 79,300. But for right now, you can see Bitcoin is wedged up in between two, a rock and a hard place, basically. Your hard place is the upside boundary at about 82,600, essentially where that 200 moving average is on the daily time frame, which has been governing price action for this rally. And Bitcoin's really not even, been able to live above it since when? Since, fucking November of last year. So it's been quite some time. And then to the downside, price action pivot right here. Again, that the last week's low on Friday's low at about 79,300 is that same number as the Reverend Ribbon's mid-band. So all of these things working together with each other. And I do want to bring up this over here too. we can go ahead and look at, on such command, the liquidation levels right here. These have actually been pretty valuable as of recent too. And we are seeing that all the short liquidation levels are once again aligning like the fucking stars, stacking up all at about $83,000. So once you get to about 83,000 bucks, you got that rocket fuel again to push price action higher. You also very likely reclaim that 200 simple, and then you get kind of the green light for that move to, let's say, 85 to 87, somewhere in that pocket right there. Again, I do want to state that I personally will very likely turn skeptical around that region, looking for any sort of rejection type behavior and for Bitcoin to turn back down. So if I start to see that, you're going to hear me be very loud about that. But until then, as long as Bitcoin's above 79,300, I am still short-term, medium-term bullish here, likely looking higher. And you can actually see on the other side, the long liquidation levels are coming in where they're coming in actually, in fact, the daily, the 3-day, and the 7-day all coming in higher than the pivot that I'm looking at, which is 80,000 bucks even almost. The 30-day long liquidation level is basically the same level that I was just speaking about last week's low. So, the downside a little bit less obvious here, but I would still be looking at last week's low as that sort of inflection and invalidation point. Until then, let the trend be your friend and don't try to overthink things too much. When we go over here and look at we're not looking at gold right now, herpy derp gold. Gold is herping and derping right now. It's pretty funny. But we should be looking at what was the new time frame that closed? I believe it was a 3-week time frame. Do we have a new signal here, or did it already fire off? Is a real question. Yeah, 3-week time frame for the MACD. Actually, might even get across the upside in the coming weeks, which would be kind of interesting because previous crosses they've all been bull markets, really. It's kind of fucking crazy right there, but that's still going to take another few months to really happen. So not even worth talking about until we get into probably end of summer, realistically. Other than that, I don't think I have anything new on the MACD to look at right here. So perhaps we get off that topic. Yeah, nothing new that I've already said. we've already gone over this. Generally good. I can understand why some people are looking for like 90 to 91,000 bucks. I get it. But like I said, I'm going to be I'm going to be very skeptical around about the 87 to 85 number-ish region. What else I want to speak about while we are here? 2-day time frame has an impending silver cross, assuming Bitcoin can just not dump below 77,000 bucks in the next, let's say 4-day period. And on top of that, as far as other corrective moves, we are setting up for a weekly 5 versus 21 EMA cross. I guess the target there is a little bit higher. It's only $1,000 higher than the 5-day. That one's about 85,900 or so, in comparison to the 5-day, which is 84,800, something like that. Maybe CME will follow through on top of that, but yeah, that target ain't much different actually. So not really much worth talking right there. Let me just make sure that I hit all of the things on our notes. Boom, boom, boom. Oh yes, I did miss this too. On the 12-hour time frame for CME, there actually is a drive of hidden bullish divergence here. It's a phantom drive on Caretakers RSI. This is one of the most interesting things about Caretakers RSI. It actually, technically, this is not supposed to be hidden bullish divergence by the traditional definition, but the way that Caretakers RSI is programmed, it actually does identify that as hidden bullish divergence. And more importantly, it works. Shit, that's your next higher low right there if I ever saw one. If I'm looking at the 12-hour time frame, I think Bitcoin's going to 85,000 bucks this week. In which case, I generally kind of think it's doing that anyways. But yeah, it's just a weird thing that we kind of found with Caretakers RSI. Anyways, that one showing, a nice short-term move to the upside, and seeing as Bitcoin's already at those previous highs, kind of have to be interpreting that as a hidden bullish divergence move that's going to create continuation rather than just a range play. Other than that, if we go over here, maybe the 10-day time frame has a signal coming up. No, it doesn't actually. So not super useful right there. Anyways, I'm gonna take a sip of this water, then we'll get into the super chats for today. Just one moment as I scroll back up to the top of the chatties here. AWP Dragon Lore to the moon. What the fuck is that? Peter, what the fuck is that, man? Luffy is first. She says, hello, sir. Hello, Luffy. Can you check out Arrow USD? Sure. Okay. You are asking specifically about short term. Let me bring it up first, actually, then I'll read the rest of your email, the rest of your message. Short term from 53.5. You're short from 53.5. Okay. So you're already in position. Has the price reached a local peak here? And is this where the trend reverses? Let's go down to a daily. Okay, I see why you'd short here. You're popping up into that 200 simple on the daily. I personally would not have done this move. Why would I not have done this move? Because I just saw on the weekly while we're here, it did initiate that same sort of corrective setup, or it is about to initiate that same sort of corrective setup that we just identified, many times on Bitcoin, which is the cross between the red 5 EMA and the yellow 21 EMA. Technically, it's not happened yet on a confirmation basis. That will happen at the end of this week unless this thing dumps back down below 45 cents. So I would say, if you are going to take that position here, it's possible it does fail here. I would not take it personally, because your risk is a move all the way up to the green 55 EMA, closer to 60 to maybe even 63 cents, which percentage-wise is a big move from where you're at right now. So to me, that this would not be ideal. That's 17.5% risk right there. I would be a lot more interested in shorting around this region closer to 60 or even above 60 than I would be as of this current region right here. I think if you were going to play the position that you were going to play, it made a lot of sense before it started to close above the 200 simple. But now, look, if you're going to, if you're going to play this position as it is, there is another way to do it. Like I said, I personally wouldn't do it, but here's how I would do it if I had to. I'd use today's high as an invalidation point, meaning that I just take, I take the fucking loss if Arrow, whatever the fuck, trades back above that number. However, if you do see this thing close back down below the 200 simple, you're probably in the clear. Just my personal opinion is I think you got a lot more of a high probability play if this thing goes higher, and also you'd probably have more gains as well. I think that was a little bit premature. I understood why you do it. I personally wouldn't have taken it after yesterday's closure, but yeah, if I had to play the position, that's how to do it. I mean, still, you're kind of minimal risk right there. Like what? That's 2.5% risk, or sorry, no, that's 5% risk. But that's acceptable, I guess. You'd be trading for a move back down to like 45 cents. So that is there. But look, as long as Bitcoin's above its pivot at 79,300, I just don't think it's wise right now to be playing, to be short at this exact moment. When Bitcoin puts in its next local high, hell yeah, fucking go for it, because that's going to be a big winner. But for right now, I think a little bit more patience is needed, because right now Bitcoin's in a stronger position to continue here than it is to reverse. But like I said, I invalidate that statement below last week's low. As soon as that happens, sure, hell yeah, fucking go for it. Put the pedal to the metal. That's what I'll be doing as well. Vince Have PH8 says, "Good day to you, sir." Good day to you as well, sir. Could you kindly look at COPX? COPX, okay. There's copper miners. All right. Are we in the midst of a reversal? Yeah, I think that this is actually very, very possible to do that. You got the weekly high or low right here. You've already popped back around that weekly lower high. So this thing does have a real potential to reverse. And last week closed on a bullish engulfing. So I would say I would be looking for a reversal to complete here with a closure above that previous April high. Do you want to position in here? That's up to you, obviously. But you got a natural invalidation at last week's low. I mean, shit, man, even if this thing came back down below about 82.25, let's say, I would say, no, it's probably going to fail here. But for right now, I'd give it the benefit of the doubt. Because, higher or low plus popping back up to that previous range high, that's typically how reversals do evolve and do emerge. Now, when I look at gold, still think gold's, I'm certainly not a believer in gold right here. You can see the complete difference, right? You got a higher low in place, yes, but you're still on lower highs. So I don't really have a reason to change that analysis. But copper, or at least copper miners, slightly different here, because you already at that previous lower high. So this one is real potential to pull through. I can understand positioning there. Definitely makes sense. Even the monthly, if the monthly trades above that high, this just looks like a continuation play. And at that point, you're very likely looking at $100 plus. But for right now, yeah, I would agree. Is it breaking out at this exact moment? Probably not going to do it on the first pass. Probably pulls back on the first pass. But look, as long as you're above, like I said, 82.25, I think that's fine to kind of play for. DJ Z's is back. He's looking at USAR. Yeah, we've looked at this one a few times. It was pretty good, if memory serves me correctly. And is it still good? Yeah, and similar sort of play here as well, right? You got that higher low right here. You've approached that previous high. It's in a position to reverse, but in the short term, no, it's not ready just yet, I don't think. It kind of stair-stepping its way up still. Overall, it is bullish. Overall, I think it's still going 32 plus. But if you're talking about the short term, not as interesting. You're just seeing a bit of a stair. I mean, it actually does have a nice potential higher low in place right there, but I don't know how much necessarily I trust it. But overall, I would be bullish on it as long as you're above about $22 on a daily closing basis. Until then, let it do its thing. It's going to kind of zig and zag here a bit. But, you know, you do see the reversal in progress. I don't have a reason to negate anything that I've said here or invalidate anything that I've said. In fact, even when I go to the higher term time frames, like the 2-week time frame, another drive of hidden bullish evidence here on K-Tricker's RSI. So I'm looking for this one to go up and to the right. By the way, also, I did post a what's it called? A tutorial on Central Command with specific, with specific focus on how to actually create the AI agents there. It's a like traditional sort of course, in which you read through it and whatnot. It's all text, by the way. It's all free, by the way, as well. It's in the link description below right here. I posted it briefly on Twitter and also on a YouTube post as well. But I figured, probably should actually show it on one of these videos because, well, those get missed for sure. But there's already been a shit ton of signups, which is actually very interesting. Didn't really think that there'd be much interest on a Saturday night, but hey, fair enough, man. Anyways, let's move on. We got, who do we have next? Artificial ignorance. Yeah, artificial ignorance. Orthodox Quant says, hey, Krown, I'm up 80% on my $35 Lunar calls for, let's bring up Lunar first. Oh, no, you're just saying I'm up big. Fuck yeah, man. I'm up 80% on my Lunar calls for 618. Hell yeah, man. Congratulations. That's awesome. Can you look at quadruple U's short term? Okay. Energy fuels. Short term, I like it. Or this is a bi-weekly time frame, so maybe not short what you're looking for, but even on the weekly, I like it. Daily, I'm probably going to like here too. I like this thing, and I'd be happy to be long as you're above about $19.50, just as last higher low here from late April. Until then, I look for it to kind of trade sideways and up. Long term, I didn't ask about it, but I do not hold strong opinions about it long term. But in the short term / medium term, I would be bullish basically. You got some beautiful higher lows right here. You got same highs right here. So technically I should have a big bullish bias. You're kind of hearing me back off from that a little bit to like a lukewarm bullish bias, I guess. But you got one of these going on. That is, to be fair, objectively bullish, but you won't really confirm like the mega massive macro breakout until this thing's, really close and above about $27.50. So yeah, I think you're going to probably snake your way up there, but this thing can take a little bit of time. I don't think it's like a big mover in the short term as of this exact moment right now. I think it's going to take a little bit longer. My LARP lines over here obviously kind of played out, kind of didn't, but anyways, we'll move on from there, and let me just get over here. Boom, there we go. I see Pesos responded to me. Fuck yeah, man. All right, let's see. All good, man. All good. I'm actually using my own copy of the Fear and Greed Index, but all right, I'll bring that up later. Thank you, though. I'll actually save that for tomorrow's video, perhaps. Anyways, let's move on. We got Mr. Great by Hype. He's looking at HYDR on the weekly and monthly. Okay, HY. We looked at this one last week, I'm pretty sure. Forget what it looks like. Looks fucking good. Looks fucking good, man. That's what it looks like to me. I would be cognizant. It's probably going to hit a local high relatively soon. You are at a previous major high, like major high from a previous major fucking nasty breakdown. So anywhere between about 68.5 to about 72.5. I'd be looking for this thing to like form another, local high. It's going to pull back, probably put in a higher low and then complete the reversal. But, you probably got a little bit more upside here to get into this zone. At that point, I'd be looking for a bit of a pullback. If you're on the monthly, yeah, same thing. I'm looking for pullbacks in this region right here. It's probably also one of the major fibs too. Let's check it out. If that is indeed true. Kind of going into this pocket right here. So I would be cognizant of that, man, because you're probably going to at least get a little bit of turbulence around that point. But until then, you got some more upside here. I mean, this is still bullish, obviously. It's getting a little bit more aggressive, but, that typically happens into the end of that current trending move. After that, do you pull back down to like fucking $55? Definitely possible. So I'd expect things to get kind of volatile there in the not so distant future. But first, a little bit more upside. Oh, motherfucker! Just took a sip from a water that doesn't have a spout. Andrew Plus is asking about callbacks as well, but we already got that one, so we are good to go there. See what else we got. DJ Z's is back. He's looking at GEV. He's asking, is it topping out? I remember we looked at this one. No, I would not say so. This thing, at least just at first glance on the daily, I don't know what time frame you're going off of, but on the daily, no. This is a higher low in the making, and I treat it as such. You got hidden bullish evidence for me right here as well. You're doing it pretty much right on the gap as well. I treat it as still okay as long as you're above 1,000. Whatever today's low is, that's a pivot point from here. I totally agree with you. This is a really fucking aggressive rally for sure. But the problem is that we don't really have an objective reversal yet. This is still okay as of right now. Look, if you lose today's low and close the daily below there, yeah, I think that you're in for a big pullback, maybe back down to like $900 or so. But until then, I'd be very mindful of this thing, man, because if it trades above last week's high, this thing's going to probably make new highs. You know, I know that this rally looks absolutely insane and absolutely crazy, but these things can get more crazy during these periods of the market. So I'd really put a keen eye on today's low. Until it loses that low, I wouldn't trade it to the downside. That'd be my take on that, man. And if anything, I think this thing's kind of poised to try another breakout move, honestly, man. And if it trades above last week's high, I think you're extremely likely to get that if that happens. And that's not that far away right now. Un momento. I need to pop back up here. Okay, we got that. Just make sure to miss anyone. I think I'm doing pretty well today. Not missing no one. Good. Also good English. Corked87 says, hello, sir. What's up, man? FTNT. Yeah, Frank Thomas, Nancy Thomas. Remember this thing, but I don't think it was this. I never traded this one myself, but I believe there was like a broker who'd call out this thing in my pit. But it wasn't this. It was something else. It wasn't Fortinet, I don't think, but it did have the same ticker. Anyways, good. This thing's ready for new highs, man. Yeah, this is fucking good, man. Weekly, monthly, bullish and more bullish. Quarterly, even more bullish. Hidden bullish evidence on characters RSI, 3 drives, on another higher low, already at the previous highs. This thing's gonna break out for new highs this quarter, maybe latest next quarter. This is really, really good. Do you have a short-term pullback from, testing the previous all-time high? Yeah, probably. But shit, man, this thing could pull all the way back to $95 and still be bullish as fuck. And ultimately, I think whether you break out right now, whether you break out, in like a month or whatever, you're probably going to see 150 plus. This is good. This is really, really good. I wouldn't overthink something like this, man. Yeah. That's a strong one. That's a very, very strong one right there. Nice. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah. 1236N says ASTS, daily, 3-day, and 5-day, and weekly. Okay, so just literally all of them. ASTS, no problem, man. Not as interesting as a lot of the other charts, but it's also not necessarily bearish. Hidden bullish evidence on the weekly. Okay, I know it's like the weekly. So, oh no, you did ask about a weekly. Okay, good. It's like the one time for me to ask about. Hidden bullish evidence right there. 3 drives on a higher low on the green 55 EMA. It's like, look, if there ever was a time, that would be it. I'd be betting on some upside here, back up to that 105 high. If it can even close above that 105 high on a weekly time frame, or even a daily at this point, you're probably going to break out to new all-time highs, which I think is. It's a little bit less obvious on the higher term time frame charts, but let's see. 5-day, same thing. Hidden bullish divergence building, just needs to close here or higher by end of week. 3-day, not as interesting, to be fair. I'm not really getting too much from that one. And daily, if it is going to reject, I guess from right here, but I would be betting on the higher term timeframes over the lower term timeframes. I can tell you where to get bearish on it and confirm the reversal to the downside. Just needs a trade below last week's low. If that happens, I'd be looking for a sizable retracement. But until then, I'd give it the benefit of the doubt. Again, it's more so a general market analysis rather than this thing in and of itself. But right now is the time, in my opinion. You don't want to be greedy, but you just don't want to err on the side of bearishness. Better to err on the side of bullishness. And set those invalidation pivots so that you know when to change around if it does happen. But for right now, I think that's okay, man. I realize that my camera dialed in here. My camera all fucked up or what? Whatever. It'll be fucked up when it's fucked up. It's okay. Anyways, Andrew Plus is back. He's looking at ENTG. So this is Integris. This one, I think it was either you or someone else who's been bringing it up over the past couple weeks. Very interesting one. I do think. Very interesting one. I'm still overall bullish. I mean, fuck, man. Look, it's getting a pullback from here. That's okay. I'd be bullish as long as you're above last week's low. And, look, if you want to play a breakout, there is a position to be had here. Like I said, I don't personally like playing breakouts. Not my thing. But in this case, I would look at it as acceptable, but just because, your invalidation for getting bearish is not that far away, which would be last week's low at 134.86. As long as you're above there, it's in a position to break out. I personally think it's going to break out this month or next. And at that point, I'd be looking, I think this thing's going to personally, I think it's going to go to 250, but, at least like 200. Yeah, I don't have any majors. Don't really have anything new to add as well. Overall, it's good. Last week's low now, a good inflection point. If it loses last week's low, okay, I think something else, it'd be safe to say something else is going on. And I would just take whatever loss, I would have at that moment and maybe reposition later, maybe not at all. Cause that'd be kind of an ugly failed breakout attempt, but yeah, if not now, then when? I think either this month, very likely this month, latest next month. If you don't see it making new ultimate by then, I think gotta fucking I would be getting the fuck out of this thing if not making new ultimate by end of June at the very fucking latest. And that's extremely generous, by the way. Straight Path says, Iron, we got the dip to $52 this morning, higher. Let's check it out. So last week we were looking for a move $252. We have gotten that move. Nice. Yeah, kind of similar to the last one as well. And again, over here, we did invalidate any sort of bearishness on the reclaim. Yeah, the real question is now, where does the invalidation go? And it would actually be at around about $48 on a daily closing basis. Yeah, look, I'm seeing what you're seeing, man. And I agree with you. I think that this thing, if you want to be bullish on it, this is the time to do it from. $52 right there. Invalidation around about $48 on a daily close basis. Until then, like this, if you're bullish, that is a setup playing out that you want to see play out. That is quite literally it, right fucking there. It's already traded above that previous lower high from January as well. So personally, I think that you're getting ready for a move back to previous all-time highs and probably beyond. But yeah, yeah. And shit, this is a falling pizza here after all. So there technically is an implied move to be made. Let's see what it would be showing right here. And that would be showing, on a breakout, I don't know, $82, 82 and a quarter, something like that. Probably goes higher over time if it does break out ultimately, but that'd be like the first, somewhat major target. Anyways, Grey White Hype is back. He's looking at FCEL. FCEL. We've looked at this one many times as well, but I don't have a mental picture of it just yet. Yeah, it's one of these. It is having a pretty epic rally. Many things are, of course. You're looking at a daily and a weekly, but I really need to go to a higher term time from like the monthly to get an idea on this one. Look, man, I'm always gonna be really, 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 really skeptical of charts like this. When it has fucking 2.5 decades worth of information of just going down and all rallies failing, I'm always just going to look at that as, okay, where does this next rally fail? In the short term, do I think it has more upside to go? Probably, yeah. Things get really fucking, oh God, this makes it so difficult. These targets should not be that high. These targets should not be that fucking high. It's not, it's not supposed to happen. But I guess if it's going to take another leg up, $22 to maybe even $30, like, fuck, man, that's a humongous range right there. Your RSI on the weekly is already the highest that it's been in 5 years. Again, I think ultimately this rally fails. The question is, how high does it get first? I really don't know. I don't want to give you an opinion on this chart because I don't have a strong opinion on this chart. I do think it will go higher, though. I do think it will go higher. I think that you will get at least to like $20. From there, I don't know, and I don't want to, I don't want to do anything more than that, just because I feel like at that point I'm just talking out of my ass, and want to keep this channel grounded. And even though I understand like the general YouTuber thing, just tell people what they want to hear, shit like that. It makes them feel good, and they want to stay around longer. I don't need to do that. Obviously I like it that people are here, but at the same time, like, I don't need to do that. So my opinion is short term, more continuation at $20 or so from there. I don't know. I definitely could see it on one of those explosive rallies here, but to me, it's just a game of looking for the next failure. So yeah, I'd say 20 and come back to it after that. I understand that's not that helpful. Cool. Cool. Chris Vella said, or Tom, Oh, I guess he retracted his message. Who knows what the hell he said? We may never know what he ever said. Chris Fellow is looking at DRAM. Yeah, DRAM, something I actually was looking at last week for myself. I actually did not go into it. I ended up going in with a couple other things. But not to say that's bad. It's actually very, very good here. It's just there's not that much history. So look, you might have some crazy gains on the horizon with something like this. But I'm not going to be participating in that, unfortunately. Look, I don't have a real analysis. Like, look, here's the fucking weekly. Indicators don't even populate. You don't even have a 21 EMA. Like, you don't want my opinion on this because I can't have a good opinion on this. It's too new. Is it going to go up more? If I had to bet, yes. Do I know where it's going to go? Fuck no. There's just a lack of history here. So that's why I personally did not go in with it. I chose a chart that had more history that also looked very good and is also actually doing quite well as well. This one potentially has more potential just because it's newer, can go crazy mode in price discovery. But yeah, man, I don't have any real useful information for you, unfortunately. I guess there's one thing that I could say, which would be my validation of a mega massive reversal and bad, and that would be coming back down below the price action pivot here, low here, which is $36.5. It's very far away from me right now. So again, I know it's not that helpful, but that's all that I got on something like this, man. It's too new. It's way too new for me. We're going to go to L. Tomzak. He's looking at CSCO. Okay. Cisco Systems. This one's been around for forever. I remember it because this one was around like when I was learning from my father when I was like fucking 11 on Pacific Stock Exchange. I remember this one like popping up. God, man, it's got to have like fucking 3-4 decades of history. Yeah, it goes back to 1991. Crazy. I'm older than it, but not by much. Anyways, yeah. Looking at Cisco daily, weekly. You're asking if it's going to be an Intel style rip. I don't know about that. Intel is kind of its own beast because why? Because the U.S. government is literally buying it, which I can understand. There might be some bad things with that, but for the price is good. I don't know if Cisco is the same thing. If it is in the same situation, then maybe yes, but I would imagine it would have already gone fucking lunar right here. Anyways, that is all besides the point because yes, it is bullish. Probably does go higher here, man. I'd be saying the same thing here as I'd be saying on most the tech and semiconductor names that we've been looking at over the past month, which is, yes, these rallies are likely to continue. Yes, they're already very extreme, but also I don't think these things are going to end until at minimum we get to Q3 of this year. So that naturally implies, we have new highs this month, next month, probably even for most of summer. And if I had to guess, I think that's going to go into Q4. We actually can come up with some pretty nice areas of interest here. So let's do that. Yeah, I think that this thing's going to go to like 115 to 123. That's probably going to be your next stop, where it comes back down, consolidates a little bit lower. But do I think that's where the rally's going to top out? Look, we're in the twilight portion of this market cycle. Like I said, end of Q4 is where I'm kind of thinking most of these things top. Maybe this thing gets to 150 by that time, but I'll be looking at these as sort of like the next major areas of interest. In the short term, bullish, obviously, especially in the short term, as long as the daily's above $91, like right on the dot, as long as you're above there, just let it do its thing. If it comes back down below there, I'd look for a deeper correction first, maybe like 84 and a quarter. But yeah, all higher term timeframes still looking to me like they probably want to go a little bit higher here. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And you'll know, like I said, because it violates that pivot. And at that point, I'd look for consolidation first and then try higher later. But look, to me, this is still a relatively new breakout here. I mean, this is the first quarter where we're really seeing price live consistently above that previous all-time high. So to me, that's a very, very, very strong breakout. And you're unlikely going to fail that intra bar here. I mean, be kind of uncharacteristic, but yeah. Anyways, one moment. No yelling. If you use all caps, go fuck yourself. Anyways, who did God it? Or sorry, whoops. I just skipped Chris Vella. He's looking at ELVA. What is this thing? Electrovia. Cool name. Daily, weekly. Okay, I'm looking at the quarterly right now, which is actually quite useful right here. The quarterly nearly engulfing last quarter. Not quite, but That is a strong move for sure. Bullish and bullish, man. Bullish and bullish. In the very short term, do you pull back after retesting that previous high in this rally from February? Yeah, and that's what you're doing right now. I don't think it's going to be a crazy pullback, though, and ultimately, it's bullish as fuck as long as you're above last week's low at 975. So 9.75 is a good pivot. Until then, all higher term timeframes bullish, man. I'd be looking for this thing to crawl its way back up towards that previous all-time high. I don't know how long it's going to take, and I don't know how long this short-term pullback will take as well. But as long as you're above that 9.75 pivot, just let it fucking float up, man. This thing's a lot more likely to retest that previous all-time high than it is to go back down below $7 at this point. So I'll be putting it that way, man. Yeah, all that I really got to say about that. Ultimately, this thing's looking pretty fucking good on a quarterly. Whether it retests around that like $15 high this month or next month or maybe even July, I don't know, but I would be kind of looking for something like that. I mean, on the quarterly, I know you didn't ask about it, but you got a higher low right here. You already reclaimed that previous high right here. Like, don't make it any more complicated than that. You have a real reversal in the making. Personally, I think it's okay to get aggressive in this particular instance. Not that I always do, but if you want to go buy the book, you wait for the quarterly to close. And if it's above, again, that's January 2021 high, then yeah, at that point, there's a confirmed break. I mean, you probably just got new all-time highs over a long enough time period. Anyways, who did God did is looking at Hype weekly. Okay, so Hype's been a weird one for the last week. I'm gonna guess what it's doing before I look at it, because last week it was brushing up against the same resistance that it had been for the past like 6 or so weeks, I believe. And I was starting to look at it as better and better and more likely to actually go for a real breakout. Let's see if that's actually happening now. Perhaps I'll be eating those words real fucking quickly and lament the bizarre. No, I think it's actually coming down here. Well, hold on. Let's get more history on this thing. No, I know we have more. Let's go to Mexico C. Yeah, there we go. Definitely not breaking out just yet, but also not confirming a breakout on anything like that. I still have to err on the side of bullishness as long as you're holding between 45.5 on the upside versus 39 to the downside. Yeah, I'd get bearish below 39. Until then, I kind of give it the benefit of the doubt. Again, it's more so based off of the general market analysis. You can see it's been wedging itself up against this region right here. So if it rejects, you do have a really nice downside trade. I mean, shit, man, it's probably going to come down to like 32, 33 bucks. And should be able to recognize the reversal and confirm the reversal below about almost 39. So there's 20% move right there. Until then, I guess I'd err on the side of bullishness here, but I don't know, man. I really don't like giving these things the benefit of the doubt, to be fair. Well, look, that's why I just don't trade this shit. If I'm giving my personal opinion, I think that it will reject just because, well, fucking altcoin. But if I'm going by the book, that's what I'd say. Personal opinion is it will come down and it will violate this number right here. But that's going to require Bitcoin coming down below about 79.3 as well. So look, it's just easier to watch Bitcoin. If Bitcoin violates that number, you're going to see this thing fall apart too. Until then, as long as Bitcoin's above its pivot, which is a little bit more obvious there, I guess like system-wise, I would have to say I'd be betting on another try to the upside, even though personally I don't think that's gonna. I don't think it's gonna work out like that. But yeah. Pizza says, GM Krown, what's up, man? Just tuned in. All good, man. We'll start it from the top. Take it from the top, baby. Still same targets for XRP. So we've been looking at like a 155 to 160 target for XRP for a while now. Let's see where it's at here. Let me actually pull back this chart. It's inching its way up. It's slowly joining the rally. Got up to 151 yesterday, so not bad. Yeah, I'd still be saying about the same thing. Yeah, like 160 I think is a really, really strong, like high probability region. It is possible that this thing might just go for a rip. Look, if Bitcoin goes up to like 85, 86, this thing actually might rip to, 180. But I'd say 160 very, very likely. From there, I'd want to see what Bitcoin's doing. If Bitcoin's still looking okay, then I would extend those targets to about 175, 180, let's call it. For right now, the daily on XRP, I would just generally be bullish here in the short term and medium term, as long as you hold the price action pivot, which is that next higher low at 130, almost 138. So yeah, I know it's taken a long time for this to play out, but it is playing out. So I don't really have any real reason to change that previous analysis. There might even be higher targets. I mean, with volatility low like this on the weekly, be kind of strange if it did just stop at 160, to be honest with you. But 160 is where I'd feel very, very confident. Okay, at least it gets there. If it has another leg up, 180, something like that. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you know, for XRP, like if it starts to trade up to 160, it will trade back above the previous couple months highs. This starts to look a lot more like the next macro high or low on the monthly. I mean, shit, you'd have hidden bullish divergence as well, as the monthly RSI is lower than even what you saw in January of 2024 when it was trading where? When it was trading all the way up, you know, 50 cents. So that might be a real setup right there. This one actually might be a bit of a sleeper. All right, cool. Let's see. We got Freddie M next. He's asking about Lunar, I think. Hold on. I just lost my place. Let me scroll back up here. We are going... he says, Lunar, we going to $40 in May. Is that a comment or a question? Okay, full disclosure as always, I own a lot of Lunar. We saw this one many aeons ago on this channel. I think we're identifying this one around like $7-8 on this channel. So it's done pretty well. Do I still think it's going to $40? I do. Do I think it happens this month? Why not? Why not? Why not, man? Look, I don't know about the exact timing of it. As usual, timing very, very difficult. But do I think it's going to go to $42? Yeah, I do. Does it happen exactly in this month or does it happen in June? I don't know. Do I think it happens in May or June? Probably, yeah. But I wouldn't like stake my name on it. You know, those things are very, very difficult to get, at least for me. Maybe there's some other people out there who can do time analysis better, but I personally haven't seen it that well. And I'm still bullish in this thing. I love this chart because it's just such a testament to what long-term investment patience looks like. Again, we identified this thing back here at like $7-8. We were saying, oh, this thing's putting in a higher low. This actually might be a real reversal. I think you can kind of guess what I did from there. Then, you know, over the next few weeks, had a big move to the upside, then pulled back severely. Many questions on YouTube. Holy shit, is it breaking down? Should I get out? Should I get out? It's like, look, I can't tell you what to do, but my line in the sand is $15. As long as it's above there, I look at this as the next higher low. Just let it trend. Just let it do its thing. Give it, you know, a little bit of patience here. And then what do you know? A few weeks later, new highs, and it kind of did the same thing over the past couple of weeks based on $23 or so. So what I'd be saying here, I'd be saying as long as you're above $23, shit, at this point, as long as you're above $25, I would move up the invalidation again. Just don't overthink it. It's bullish. Just let it do its thing. This is a real reversal here. You have low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher low, higher low, same high, big breakout incoming when you see something like that typically, and we're seeing that kind of follow through here. So I think these next 2 to 4 months are going to be the time for Lunar to do whatever the fuck it's, you know, baking up here for the past 3-4 years. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, $42 is just kind of like a first major target for me. I mean, personally, does it get to like 50 plus? Very possible. Very, very possible for something like this. You know, again, given the market conditions, given what shit's doing right now, you can probably see some crazy shit go on. Anyways, Squad Juice is re. What is re? What? Freddie says UIMAC weekly. When would you get bullish on new highs? Let's look at it first. Okay. When would I get bullish? Like, is the question after getting new highs? I think this one's gonna follow through, man. I'm just gonna shoot you straight. I think it's going to follow through. If you want to go by the book, I don't think you'd have to wait for new highs in order to call this thing a breakout, which is, I think, the term that you're probably looking for. I'd want to see a monthly closure above the same exact region where this thing's been rejected from, you know, since October of last year, which is $17.50. If you can close a monthly above there, I think you're heading up to those previous highs and you're not stopping. You're probably going to make new all-time highs. Until then, weekly seems to be putting in the next higher low right here. Hidden bullish divergence on characters RSI, another phantom drive. Again, like these signals are, those are secret signals. I love them, man. I fucking love them. This thing's bullish as long as you're above $11. Just let it do its thing, man. I'd be having a bullish bias. Here. In fact, I need to write this one down on my list because UMAC. Let's maybe something worth exploring a little bit later. I'll see what's left in my account. Let's see. Run mountains, I think, but no vowels. MYM, please. Will it follow MES, MEQ? I don't know, because I don't know what any of those are. This thing? Oh, MES and MEQ. So that's probably micro SPY futures and micro NASDAQ futures. Okay, I see. So this would be Dow Jones futures. Yeah, it would be. Duh. Okay, should have recognized that one. Will it follow them? Yes, but previously, the industrial sector was obviously leading up this rally up until the most recent correction in February. Now the industrial sector is following, as it typically has, actually. So do I think it's going to follow them? Yeah, I do. Do I think it's going to be as strong, as big of a winner? No, it's not. It was the main winner from the previous rotation. Now it is rotated down. It's still going to very likely follow, just not as much. The big winners right now are semiconductors, tech, and of course, just the, SPY broad market, the stronger stocks. So yeah, I mean, if the question is, am I bearish on this? The answer is absolutely not. The question is, how bullish are you? And the answer is yes. The question is, how much? I'd be bullish on this thing as long as you're above about 47,500, especially. I don't think it's going to be as big of a winner. But yeah, do I think it's going to, have a nice stint above 50,000 bucks again? Yeah, I do think so. I mean, quarterly here is also ripe, similar to the other majors, just not as strong. So not as big of gains. Compare that with, of course, like NASDAQ futures right here. It's massively traded above the previous quarter's high. So it's a different picture altogether. This one's the big winner right now. That's rotations. Anyways, cool. All right, we got Tim NX. He says, "Morning, sir. What's up, man? Look at VCX again." Yeah, VCX. I remember you brought it up. I think it was last week. I looked into it a bit. I actually ended up deciding against it, and yeah, I'm a fucking moron. I'm a fucking retard. Worst investor of all time. Missed an easy 2x. I mean, not so easy, but when I was looking at it for the purpose of potentially long-term hold, and ultimately I found that this thing was trading like a 10 to 15x valuation of the underlying companies, which are already trading at like crazy forwards look evaluations. So like, I'd rather just buy the underlying, even though they are private. They're kind of difficult to buy right now, but yeah. I don't know on this chart, man. I don't know. I would be careful with it because at some point it probably is going to have a nasty collapse. But that might be like really far in the future. I really don't know here, man. I really don't know. Look, if you were already in this move, congratulations. That's amazing. Like you had more than a 2x over the past week. Crazy shit, man. Rather Be Hated says, do you have any tutorials in options trading? Yeah, I do. There is an options 101 tutorial alongside quizzes and everything. It's on the Teachable School. If you just search the course catalog, whatever it's called, then you'll find it. It's typically near the end. But yeah, it's all free. It's all good to go. And you can even earn a certificate of completion as well. But you will have to pass quizzes. There ain't no free fucking certificates being given out here. Anyways, yeah, this thing, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to set an alert on it because if it does come back down to 120, maybe I could be interested in there. But I don't want to have an opinion here because I could easily see a local high here, the same as I could see just a fucking straight moonshot to $400. So a healthy amount of I don't know, man. I'm not going to fucking bullshit you. Yeah. Sorry, man. But I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion on this. It's probably good long-term-ish, but hard to say. Misk then says, hello, sir. Thoughts on now? Okay. I don't think we've seen this one before. Service now. Money now. Give money now. Money now. Terrible. Fucking god. What the fuck, man? We've seen so many fucking amazing charts today, and you choose this monstrosity? This monstrosity? Bad. Bad. Yes. Flush it. Okay. In the short term, medium term, yeah, obviously not good. Obviously not fucking good. I think what you're probably getting towards, you're asking is the weekly showing bullish divergence. This is one of those times where The answer is technically it is possible. My personal answer is it's not going to work out like that. This thing wants to go lower first. I do think you're probably close to a macro low, actually. Anywhere between about $70 to the current quarterly low at $82. So it might already be in there. It's possible, yes. But somewhere in that pocket there is where I'd be looking for on the next macro low. These large lines over here, not going to be correct because obviously it did go lower. But the problem with this thing is, man, is that if you buy it here, you're going to be holding this thing very likely for a very long time before it does anything significant to the upside, because it's most likely going to form a major range. Let's call it like 110 to the upside versus 60 or $70 to the downside. And if it is going to put in a macro low there, which I think it probably does, it could spend like a year or two, maybe even longer in that zone, reconsolidating and then getting ready for another upside move. But yeah, is there bullish divergence building on the weekly? There is. I just don't think it's going to play out on this particular drive. I think you got one more swing to the downside. When you have such a nasty drop off like this, very rarely will you bottom on just 2 drives of bullish divergence. You will almost always see at least 3 drives of bullish divergence for a macro low like this. I don't think 2 is going to be strong enough right here. But hey, you'll know that I'm wrong on that statement if this thing trades back above about 103 on a weekly and closes above there. If it does that, then I'm wrong and it's going to, doing something else. But until then, I think you probably try one more move lower, like slightly lower, maybe as far as $70, but that should be where this thing does try for a major bounce and a major low. You're going to naturally have massive hidden bullish divergence here on the quarterly RSI, but that's going to take time. I mean, it's quarterly time frame after all. So yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like, this is an area to be looking for in a macro low. I would just say, be ready for this thing to maybe, come down another 20% to put in the final low. And then from there, it might be several years before it really tries a real upside move. But, maybe that's relevant to you, maybe it ain't. I don't know. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Cool. All right. Just lost my place. Okay. Wow. Oh, there we are. All right. DJ Z's is back. He's looking at Oracle. Oh God. Screen's a little bit further away from me now, so my vision's failing. I still think the LARP lines are generally correct here. With this guy, likely forming the next major low. It's acting like it wants to. It's got hidden bullish divergence on the monthly RSI right here. Technically won't be confirmed until you close this month, but if you close basically here or higher, that should do it. And you're probably in for a move to like 220, 225 region, whatever, something like that. Yeah, you're asking, would I take a long position here? Where's your risk, man? Well, first off, no time frames given, but where's your risk here? Where is your real risk? Well, your real risk is actually the low at 133 from April. So entering right here, from there to there, that's kind of big. Yeah, it's close to 30% risk. To me, that's not relevant. I would want to enter in on a pullback, but you're not guaranteed it's going to get a pullback. That's what I say about that, man. Like, it's a lot of risk. It's probably going to work out for you, but at the same time, it's a lot of risk if it's wrong. Same thing on the quarterly. If you're long-term, you got to be looking at the monthly, I think. And that's the only place that really makes sense to manage risk on. I guess if you wanted like a little bit of a better area, it would be the low of this month at 166. But I would probably avoid this in search of easier charts, if anything. As usual, you can make the game as easy or as difficult for yourself as you want. All you need to do is just find one of the numerous amounts of incredible charts that exist out there that are very, very obvious. This one, it is still pretty good, but a little bit less obvious. And a little more risk if you do enter in there, even though I think it will work out for you. I just think it's a bad do long term. Like, if you trade like that long term, you're going to take some fucking massive, massive cuts when you're wrong, because it's going to happen, man. It's just part of the game. Corked87 says, hello again. All good, man. Hello, sir. Thoughts on CMP? Wait, oh. I'm a fucking redact. Wait, no, we are looking at CMP. Hold on. Wait. Holy shit. I am retarded. Oh my God. Want to get on this thing. Okay. Long term as well. No time frames given, but just long term. Again, like this chart is just not as obviously good as the other ones. It just has no long term history of going up consistently. Not fucking good. It's been around for more than 2 decades, and it has a history of basically just going down. That's not fucking good, man. But hey, it's your money. If you want a position in this thing long term, I mean, where would I construct a position? Look, I wouldn't, just for one. I would not be doing this. But if I had to, if you put a gun to my head, I would say your obvious invalidation is your lows from November of 2025. That's $16. So this is insane fucking risk here. Insane fucking risk. I mean, shit, even if you use the low of March of this year, you're still talking about like a 30% risk. Yeah, because that's $20 and you're almost at $30 right now. This is just terrible trading, terrible investing, in my opinion, doing it that way. Like if you take a loss, it's going to be bad. And this thing, again, it's lived through multiple bull fucking cycles and it just goes like, I cannot highlight how bad that is, how fucking bad that is. Again, I'm not calling you bad. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but I'm saying it's not an ideal chart, man. Again, there's so many obviously good charts. Now, it may be that you just love this company and you love the fundamentals. Maybe you're an insider, in which case that's a different game. You can discount everything that I'm saying if that's your game. But if I'm looking at this chart, man, maybe it goes up to 43 again, but that's where I'd be looking for the next, massive lower high. I have no reason to believe that this thing is reversing. You don't have a higher low on the quarterly even possible here. It's just not there. So to me, I would avoid this thing. If I had to enter in, I guess I'd use, like I said, about $20, $21 as an invalidation. And until then, I'd be cautiously bullish. I do think it's got more upside here, maybe like $38 to $40, something like that. But yeah, man, it's your money at the end of the day, I guess. But yeah, if it takes another leg up, I don't know, $40 would make sense, but that's literally the perfect place for another lower high. So wouldn't fall in love with that one for the long term personally. Yeah, man. FDVN, LVN, FDAG. God damn, man, you just fucking let your cat type on your keyboard or some shit. Question is weekly, is ZEC top in on the weekly? I haven't looked at this one recently. We only looked at it last week. I'm going to guess probably not. Let's see. Okay, I do think it's going to pull back here. I don't think this is the top though. But if it pulls back down to like $500, that's more than a 10% move. So that's tradable, I guess. Do I think it's going to be the next like top? No, I think that this pulls back into a higher low. But yeah, I agree with you. It's very likely to pull back here. It is a local high for sure. I agree with that 1,000,000%. But I wouldn't be looking for this thing to like fall back down to fucking $200 from here. Or if it did, there's, my validation for that would be it has to really start to, violate below about 450. We could even make that $400, but short term, yeah, very likely to pull back, but I give it a chance to put in a higher low somewhere around like 480 to 500, and come back to it after that. Like the monthly is objectively good as of right now. Yes, there's still 20 days left to go in this month, but that's good. At least barring a catastrophic drop off, and the quarterly is also good too. Like this is maybe the best crypto chart we're going to see today, or even in the foreseeable future. I think that this thing is at some point going to go back to $1,000, man. So I'd be looking for places on this pullback to potentially position around. But I mean, look, I'm personally not going to do that because I don't play shit like this. But I would think that that's about the right call here. Yeah, objectively better than, any crypto chart that I can think. It's objectively better than Bitcoin's chart in the more medium term. That's for sure. Anyways. All right, cool. What else we got? Chris Fell is back. He is looking at Circle. There we go. So Circle. Now I have to say, full disclosure, I do own this one now, and I quite like it. So we were very, very patient on Circle. We were looking for the pullback after this move over here, and We were looking at least about $80. I was personally looking for like, 65 to $70 on that one. Missed that one. Identified it over here. Got in on that next pullback to about $95. So I didn't play it like perfect, but I still quite like it over here. I like these 1, 2, 3 higher lows. You're already back around that previous high on both the daily and the weekly. So I'm looking at this as the first potential real mega reversal on this thing that it's ever had ever. Because you got your weekly high or low right here. You're back around that previous high. So all I need to see is a weekly closure above that previous high to complete the reversal. And at that point, you're probably just looking at a nice bull fucking rally. Now, of course, there's a big fundamental driver in the background for this thing because Clarity Act is being voted on, I believe, this week or something like that, whatever. So you're probably going to see a lot of volatility around that event. You're probably going to, you might even see like an initial major pullback around that event too. But basically, as long as this thing's above even just this current week's low, I'd be bullish on it. And if you want to go buy the book, you'd be using the $84 pivot right there. But yeah, do I think it's going to pull? Like, if I'm giving my unfiltered opinion on this thing, I think it is going to pull through here. And I think if we fast forward a few months, you're going to see this thing back around about $200. That's just my personal opinion. And again, full disclosure, I do own this thing. As of recent, Arib says XA. Oh, you want to look at silver. Silver stop loss, my short, new entry for short on the hourly, 4 hour and daily. Well, okay, here's what I'd say to you, sir, just before we go ahead. When you ask about the hourly, 4 hour and daily, and you're asking for like a short entry on those, and please don't take this offensively, but it shows that you don't really understand what the fuck you're trying to do, because the hourly time frame, looking for a position there in relation to what the daily is doing, it's just these things barely fucking relate. There's 24 hourly bars in a one daily bar. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Now, if you're looking at like a daily, maybe like a weekly and a 3-day are the ones to kind of reference on top of that, but you don't want to be fucking splitting these up too much. Anyways, I would not be looking for a short here. Look, last week, I think it was completely fine to be looking for shorts in this region right here, because you're still operating on lower highs. Right now, it's already trading above that previous lower high at $83. I don't think this. I think that was a losing trade, and I think have to acknowledge that and have to be looking for this thing to pop back up towards this thing's probably going back up to 92 or so. If you want like another, just short-term short for a scalp, I mean, you can always short previous local highs. So that would be like 95 and a quarter right there. But that's not a trade you really want to hold right here. This thing is like, look, I had all the reasons in the world to be short, if I was going to trade this thing last week on this lower high right here. Given the evidence today, that is not the case right here. I would not want to be short right now. It is interesting to me, though, that silver is doing this while gold is not. I mean, gold is looking obviously a lot weaker. If I was looking for a short, I'd be looking at gold, if anything. But yeah, this thing, no, I would not want to short this thing right now. If you're looking at a 4 hour time frame, it's continuation, man. If you're looking for, like, again, a scalp short, I mean, $90, you probably get a short-term pullback. But it's freshly breaking out right now. Like, this is not the time to do. Like, again, that's what an invalidation means. So when I tell you about an invalidation at what was it, like $83 or 83 and a quarter, it's like when you hit that literally invalidates the trade idea, meaning that you have to be accepting of something else going on. That's at the point where you say, oh, my initial idea was wrong. It's time to now, given the new information, change my opinion and look for something else. Like, that's the purpose of it. You don't just try to like force the same trade in again. That's not the right call in my experience. That's where like you start to revenge trade and shit on yourself, because you become held into this view and you become so rigid that you can't break out of it. In my experience, that's really fucking bad. So yeah, man. I would not be looking for it right here. This is not the time. This is not the time. Yeah, that's what I say about that, man. Cool. All right. Andrew Plus is back. He's looking at KRKNF. Okay. I remember we looked at this one last week, but it's crack. Oh no, it's not Kraken though. It's an OTC bullshit, man. So it's always difficult with these things. If I have to call it, it's a top here for a long time. You got bearish divergence on the monthly RSI. So I think you're coming back down to like $4, sub $4. I think this is probably the top for a very long time. Here's your quarterly. These are problematic. It's very problematic. Very problematic. In the short term, probably even comes down to like $4.40, $4.50 and tries for a bounce there. But, even if it bounces there significantly, you might get a big bounce up to like $5.50, $6. I still think you're coming down. I think this thing's topped for a very long time, personally. So yeah. Robotics playing a pullback right now. Yeah, I don't think that's it, man. I think you got to be looking at the monthly. Like this is very likely a top for a long time. I'd be betting on downside, not upside. McLaren F says, hi, Planet Labs, ticker PL. Nice. Thank you for that, man. Weekly, monthly right here. Cool. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ, man. Just a fucking vertical green dildo party. I'm looking for signs of toppy behavior. And to be fair, it's a very aggressive rally, but no, I think it's going higher, man. Again, hidden bullish divergence on caretakers our side. There's 3 drives right here, in fact. Already on basically no ultimates. Like this one wants to trend. It wants to trend. It's an aggressive rally, absolutely, but I do think it has more highs to go before it tops out. Tentatively, I'd be looking at like 47, 48 bucks. So it's like a 20% move from where right now. It's just insane right now. All of these things are fucking insane. Monthly is getting very overdone here. So, I'd be looking for a major high, maybe even a macro high after this next continuation move. I think you're probably in the final move of this, the final rally of this overall move. Before like a much deeper correction. But in the short term, yeah, you still got some upside here, man. Kind of a crazy chart. I think it gets a little more crazy. I want to come back to it after we see something resembling a real reversal. But for right now, man, this is still bullish. There's no reason to be bearish on this, especially as long as you're above fucking $35 right now. Like, this is good. What does this thing do? It's packaged software. Let's see, what does this thing do? Provides daily data insights about Earth. Gay. Kidding. It offers a web geo platform with satellite data available to foundational analytics to derive insights. Okay, I think we missed like a marketing term there somewhere. Whatever that means, I think it's going higher. It's going higher. Probably closer to 50. Why not, man? Just send it up there. It's already close enough, huh? Cool. Okay. We see some laughter going on. Some laughter going on in the chats. It's no laughing. We're talking about very serious stuff today, like getting ass. Gargoyle with sword says, Zer, Solana daily, upside targets. Do I have to? I guess even the shitcoins get to rally right now too. Let's look at the higher term time frames. I think best case scenario on this rally, you get up to like 115, 120. Yeah, it should be rallying a little bit from here, I guess. I think it's probably a good bet on at least like 105 on this rally. Yeah. Those would be my 2 areas. 105, I think very, very likely. If you start to really close weeklies above 105, I would extend those targets to about 120-ish, let's say. Still not my favorite chart overall. I mean, it's obviously very weak, but at least compared to most crypto shitcoin charts, it's actually decent, I guess, but that ain't same. I mean, that's not really what you want to compare yourself to. but yes, I do think you got more upside here. Those would be my areas of interest for this rally. Again, 105, very, very likely. If it rejects there, okay, let a failure be a failure. But if it starts to actually close above that number on a weekly, I'd extend that target another 15% or so, which is not bad. I mean, at that point, you kind of pop back into that previous 2023 to 2025 range, which that's also pretty fucking good, actually. On potentially a major low, but forgive me for my skepticism of looking for that on something that's, like this, right? Anyways, Grable Hype is looking at AIPO, okay? AIPO. Sounds like, ooh, Defiance AI and Power Infrastructure. I like it. Oh, I love girthy green dildos. Oh, baby. It's an investment trust. Don't like that as much, though. What does this thing have? Okay. What does it do? Focuses on U.S. listed companies generating a significant share of their revenue from AI and power infrastructure. It holds firms involved in decentralized energy. How big has this move been since the March lows? 41%. That's pretty good. That's a little bit better than par for the course right now. So this is a pretty good name, actually. Anyways, on the daily and weekly, again, limited amount of history here. So I'm not running off of much, to be fair. But I do think you got new highs coming this week. I think you're heading up to like 35-ish, something like that. As far as other things, it's very difficult to make a real analysis on this just because that's the chart. Like, I don't have much to go off of, but I'd continue to be bullish on it until it hits something resembling an important invalidation. So I guess at this point, it'd be last week's low at $31. So as long as you're above $31, just let it float. Just let it fucking do its thing. If you do lose $31, then at that point I would be anticipating a greater pullback and I'd say rally over. But I don't think that's what's happening right now. Other than that, just let it do its thing. Let it float up, because for right now, it's just bullish, man. Just let it do its thing. Until proven otherwise. Chris Fell is back. He's going at UAMY. Man, this one comes up almost every stream now. Not terrible. Actually pretty decent. Yeah, I remember we've looked at this one a few times. So this is actually in a very interesting spot, exactly where it is right now. Sorry, your question specifically is breakout still looking good? I would say this one's in a very interesting spot because I would say yes to that, to that question. And I'd go on to explain that basically even today's low of $10 now becomes the next invalidation. So I look at this as the breakout as long as you're above there, basically. So this move should lead into a breakout as long as you hold that $10 low. If you do lose $10, something else is going on, and I want to come back to it. It might be like a real reversal, in which case you're going to see 20 to 30% move to the downside. But until then, just follow the trend, man. This looks to be the next higher low. So I'd be moving up, my invalidations from previously the $9 or so number to now about $10. So, I mean, that's kind of a big deal, right? I mean, that's more than a 10% increase. So overall, I would say yes, still looks good, but must hold that number. If it starts to lose that number on even, especially a weekly closing basis, but even a daily would be kind of a red flag. I would say, okay, cut this thing loose and look for the next opportunity. Probably gonna have a deeper pullback to like $8 or so. Okay, cool. All right, very nice indeed. Itchy mustache at the moment. J Meg says, can we look at DGXX? Yeah, what is this one again? This one's come up a couple of times. DigiPower. Yeah, a lot of these names are doing shit like this right now. Oh, it's one of these, yeah, long term. I don't think I have a real opinion on this thing, man. I see some higher lows here. The only high that really matters for this thing is this high right here at $41. You don't really need to reclaim that high in order to have a really nice move to the upside anyways. So, like, I don't think I have a good look on this thing. Do I think it's going to continue to move to the upside? I guess, yes. Yeah. If I had to guess, well, am I still, I'm still in log. God. I do think you have more upside. I'd bookmark it in my ear, something like, $11 to $13 is like an area that's kind of fraught with peril. But I don't feel very confident on something like this simply because the long term looks long term looks like this. So again, it's just a game of looking for the next lower high. But because it's so fucking volatile, it can, if it trades up to like $13, $14, that's almost a 2x. Like, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, I do think you have more upside here though. So I don't know if you're already long, I do think you're gonna get to 2 digits actually. So that's a pretty big move anyways. So yeah, fair enough. Great White Hype is looking at grid on the daily and weekly. Okay, grid. Let's see, another just fucking straight up moonshot chart. Again, when it comes to charts like this, I can't be of that much help just because at the end of the day, look, it's going higher right here. The game on these things is just not to be bearish until you get an objective reversal signal. 180 was your previous breakout, but I don't even think you need to wait for that. If this thing goes back down below 183, I would turn into not necessarily bearish. I mean, it's not bearish when you look at a chart like this, but it's just, rally over. Look, I don't think it's stopping right here. I think you're going to make new highs this month, next month, probably over summer as well. Maybe Q4, you do start to see a macro top being formed, but daily is continuation. It wants to make new highs today and more this week, probably. Weekly, same thing. Just let it do its thing, man. An invalidation at 183, I think is appropriate in this case. And yeah, man, I don't think there's really much to say other than that. Very fucking strong. Very fucking strong. Cool. Mr. Escobar, he's looking at USA. We actually did USAR already, man. I believe it's still good. Yeah, still good here. I think you can move up the invalidation for bullishness to basically this week's low on a closing basis. Until then, yeah, I think you're still going up to like 32 and a quarter. Anti-Pros is exclaiming that we missed his super chat. Oh, Mr. Tom Krown. Good to fucking see you, man. Everyone check out Tom Krown. He is among the best live streamers in the crypto space. as well. We did USAR earlier, yeah. But same thing right here. Did I actually miss your super chat, or were you just yelling bullshit? Because I don't think I missed any. Let me scroll up. I can verify this. And if you're lying, there's going to be fucking hell to pay, man. All right, we're going to find out if you're lying or not. What was the name again? Hold on. I think his name was Anti-Pro. Anti-Pros. Okay, let's figure this one out. If I'm wrong, I owe you an apology. And if I'm right, then you're getting bound. So the stakes are high. Let's see. Still haven't found it. Oh, I'm already halfway through all the chats and I still haven't found yours, man. It's not looking good for you. Oh, it's really not looking good for you now, man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Guys, I think we have a liar on our hands. Oh, shit. Yep. All right. Rules are rules. Rules are rules. Rules are rules, sir. But you must... Whoops. No timeout. We're going full-on ban. Bam, bam, baby. There he is. Bear Nutrition. Good to see you, man. Yeah. Mr. Van Duysen. Good morning for you, sir. Good morning for you. Someone asked for Litecoin. No, there hasn't been any super chats that were Litecoin that I've seen. Yeah. I'm going to scroll through one more time just to make double sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure no. Litecoin. Yeah. Uh-oh. Are we having people trying to take advantage of this now? This could be real fucking bad precedent to set. Yeah. Yeah, definitely no Litecoin, definitely no anti-pros chat. So, yeah. All right, we got him. We got him. We got him. Ain't nobody getting away with that shit here. Ain't nobody getting away with that shit here. Fucking flush him. My Angus! Some good poops there. Good poops indeed. Yeah. All right. Let's go. Next, Asti. Hey, what's up? Good morning, Chassis. Tesla good. Tesla fucking good. I remember we called a reversal on this one a couple weeks ago. Sorry, we called it way back on over here once it reclaimed 385. Many people doubted that call in the interim, but no, that was important. The price action pivots, they show you the way. Again, full disclosure, I do own this thing, but yeah, Asti, I think that this thing's still going back to those previous highs, $500. That reversal was significant. This is the next monthly higher or low. There's no reason to be bearish on this thing at all whatsoever now, as long as it is above, like even $400 at this point. So just let it float. Let it float. It's doing well. Daily time frame, it's floating up. Let it go up. Let it go to its home. Weekly time frame wants to go up even more. It's a weekly time frame. It's a higher time frame. It's better. Below $400, I changed my opinion. Until then, it's good. MG says hymns, daily, weekly, monthly. Okay. Hymns. All right. We got it right here. See a higher low right here on the weekly and a higher high. So that's good. Potential real reversal in progress and hidden bullish divergence on the monthly RSI. So it does look like this rally wants to go higher. It's a pretty sharp correction right there. Jesus Christ, man. This thing is, what is this thing? Medical nursing services. Hold on. Let's do some research. It's what people mean when they say research. I read a small 2-sentence blurb on fucking TradingView. Operates a telehealth consultation platform. Okay, do they do the hair shit? Look, I've been taking that hair shit. I can tell you, it doesn't fucking work. It doesn't fucking work. It shouldn't be a good business. Doesn't work for me, at least. I think you probably get at least another try at like 32 and a quarter. Monthly probably goes higher as well. So, this might just be a V bottom out of here. It's kind of a hard one for me. I should err on the side of bullishness, if anything. So I'll put it that way. It's just the quarterly that kind of throws me for a bit of a loop. But hey, what's going on there? Oh, we have an Elsa bird.
There was LDC, but it's from iCloud provider. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. All right, I'll just see that. All right, fine. All right, Elsa has informed me that there was a Litecoin derp request. Apparently it's not on my list, though, which is kind of bizarre. But we'll go over it. Although I will say it was not fucking that anti-pro asshole. Yeah, if I'm looking at this, I'd be betting on upside, probably back up to like $40 or so. easy invalidation below last week's low at 25 and 35 cents. We'll look at Litecoin now. He asks, is it ready for breakout? Targets. Oh, dear Lord. No time frames even given. Ready for breakouts on a chart like this. Sir, a breakout for a chart like this would require closures above like 135 for a real breakout. What you're looking at over here is a pity rally from the very unvirtuous stance of getting towards its last multi-year lows, which almost everything will bounce around those regions. That is very, very bad. Now, do I think it's going to go higher from here? I don't know. Maybe you're on like a 4-hour time frame and you're like, holy shit, it's breaking out. In which case, I'd say, yeah, it is on a 4-hour time frame. Probably going to head back to like 61, 62 bucks. But yeah, this thing I absolutely hate. I absolutely think it's just a complete fucking waste of time. I mean, for fuck's sake, man, like look at this shit. Look at this shit. For almost 10 years, for almost 10 fucking years, you've had no gains. In fact, those are negative gains because you're being, measured versus the dollar, which is being inflated away. So your return is negative over that amount of time while everything in their mother has gone to the moon and beyond. What's the obsession with this shit? Are you drinking is there some fucking Kool-Aid around that I'm just not aware of? Look, if you're talking about a real breakout, your real breakout is, okay, we don't even need this. I was quite generous with those LARP lines. Your real breakout, if it ever does happen, is going to be if and when this thing reclaims about 143, 144. It's probably going to rally more from here. Look, if you're on a daily time frame, I mean, sure, yeah. Like send it back up to, 61 bucks. If it has continuation from there, 66, another 10% move. But to call a reversal or call a break on it, I mean, just the wrong terminology, wrong look on this thing, long term. I mean, this is just there's total loser. Best case scenario on this rally, I think you're getting up to like 69 bucks, something like that. Between now and the end of June. Yeah, just why? Even the fucking creator of this thing says it's garbage bullshit. Even he doesn't like it. It's crazy. Anyways, MG is here. He's looking at QCOM. Yeah, this is one that I've actually wanted to get a position in, but I've been no, I'm thinking of something different. No, this is actually not it, but this is probably actually pretty good too. Yeah, quarterly bullish engulfing dildo, new all-time highs already. I mean, goddamn, man. Make it no more complicated than that. Hidden bullish divergence on the monthly, hidden bullish divergence on the quarterly on character RSI. This thing has probably got another couple quarters of making new all-time highs. This is fucking good. Probably should be looking for a position in this thing. Short term, going to pull back here a bit. I don't know if that matters to you or not, but if it pulls back, you got to be ready for potentially a pullback all the way down to like 210. But it is still bullish as long as you're above about 210. Yeah, I'm just looking for this thing to go up into the right over the next, 2 to 5 months at least. Next major area of interest, I mean, you're kind of already there, 260 or 259. I think it at least gets to 290, 292 region. From there, in best of conditions, maybe gets to like 340, something like that. Yeah, it's good. That's where my pivot is, 210, must remain above there. Till then, just let it do its thing, man. The trend is indeed your friend in this case. I mean, shit, man, look at the monthly. Your monthly RSI is just getting into the bullish control zone off of hidden bullish divergence. Like, that's good. That's good. That's very good. So yeah. Oh, very nice indeed. All right, cool. Let's scoot back up here. I think, yeah, I'm wondering why I didn't show I'm half retarded's comment. That's unfortunate, man. Anyways, so I do apologize to I'm half retarded, but for the other asshole, no, fuck you, dude. Adam Klein says, I'm just kidding, honestly. I really don't care that much. Coin for Adam Klein. He's looking at, he says monthly, it runs with Bitcoin, right? Generally, yes. Generally, yes. Hidden bullish divergence right here. On the monthly, like long-term sell targets or, okay, long-term sell targets. It's hard to say for me because, look, I do own Coinbase. It's not a humongous position anymore. I used to own a lot, but I sold a lot of it right around here. I've actually been in the process of thinking of maybe I buy some back at these prices. Long-term price targets, I mean, if this is going to be the next low, then, well, it's just something that I want to hold, to be honest. But I guess, easy sort of longer-term targets, maybe relevant between now and like Q4 would be 260-ish, something like that. I think you at the very least get to 230, but that's not that much of a long-term move. I think that probably happens sooner rather than later. other than that, I don't really have like a long-term target for you, because if this is the low, then it should just be making new all-time highs, over the course of the next few years. But like I said, I do own some of it. I'm considering maybe buying some more at these prices, but I want to see another month or two expire. I'm happy to buy higher if that ends up being the case. It's an easier trade right here, obviously, just because your natural invalidation is the same shelf from the last few years at 140. But yeah, as far as target, I mean, that's the only targets that I'd say are relevant, in the not so distant future. AAP says, this is the same guy who tried to make Krown say assalamu alaikum. Really makes you think. I don't want to get into that. People get mad enough for me on Twitter whenever, like, God, this is like the most sad thing, honestly. Because like recently on Twitter, like I'll see like these just terrible fucking stories of like, usually that, these people doing really fucking heinous crimes. But I'm not saying it. It's like, it's because they are those people. It's just shocking for me to read it. So I kind of have to respond almost. And then for some reason, like people of that persuasion, let's say, take great offense to it. And then basically, like they basically say, but look at how bad this is. Like, dude, first off, did you think about what you said for a second? Like, second off, that does not take away from this. And I'm not like making comments on all the fucking issues in the world, sir. Like, goddamn, do you have a fucking 9-volt brain? Or are you just retarded? Or maybe both. In which case, that's fine. That's fine. Anyways, cool. All right. Ricardo Vandernoort says, Dear Krown, Dear Rico, Ricardo, I'm looking for a new short opportunity on Tau Daily. Has it more upside than Tree Fitty? I don't know. Let's check it out. Last time we saw it, it was rallying towards kind of like an area where it'd be a little bit, where it'd be a little bit more enticing if I was going to play a downside position. Can it go up to 390? I mean, sure, it's possible. If it goes to 390, I wouldn't want to short it there. At that point, I think you've completed a real reversal here. But for right now, look, I think if you're going to short it right here or anywhere in this pocket between about 350 and kind of where it's at makes sense. Have some more upside to 350. I think it's possible. Yeah. Because in the short term, it very likely does try some more upside from here. If you get a try to 350, I think that's an easy position to trade. Not that it's guaranteed to work out, but just easy position to trade. Why? Because where's your invalidation? It's this high right here, 376 or 375, whatever. If you reclaim that high, it's completed a real reversal, and I wouldn't want to be short. But until then, I mean, yeah, I totally understand that setup, and that's what I'd be doing in this situation. Kind of the same thing as silver, though. Like, just want to make it super clear. If it reclaims that number, I have to change my mind. At that point, it is objectively bullish, and you do have a real reversal. Just, I would be going the other way until proven otherwise. That's just how I look at things. So do I think it's going to go to 350? I do think that you have one more shot to the upside here, and 345 to 350 makes a lot of sense. So yeah, easier to position there, lower risk, obviously. Okay, cool. All right. We got that. Orthodox Quant is back. He's looking at URG, UR Energy, whatever time frame you want. Oh, I'll go with the 1 second time frame. Your Energy. Oh, cool name. Well, daily's already good on that higher low. Weekly's going to be looking good here. You got 2 higher lows, same highs over here. This thing's ripe. Yeah, this thing's going to be good. Yeah, you're all in these metals and minerals and energy thingies. Yeah. I think it's going up from here, man. I think you probably retest around about $2, which is a 20% move from where you're at right now. Like, it's not bad. Sorry, 10% move from where you're at right now, which is not bad, but there's real potential to continuation much longer. This is a good setup right here overall on the quarterly. If I think that you will trade up to $2. I think that you're personally just going to break out from there. But if you want to play it by the book, you'd wait for a monthly closure above $2. And at that point, this thing's going to fucking move big. I would be looking for a 50% move back to the previous all-time high quickly. Probably just higher from there overall. I mean, that would be really fucking good. But yeah, all higher term timeframes look good to me. And even an invalidation at this week's low is very much appropriate here. So it's kind of minimal risk for the potential reward. I like those setups. Maybe you do too. I don't know. DJ Z's is back. He says, been in Litecoin since 250, sold some today, top in. You've been in Litecoin since 250 and you're selling some today. You're capitulating today after all of that. I'm curious, what made you capitulate just today? I guess your question is, sold some today as a top in. I mean, I think that this rally probably goes a little bit higher, but I mean, shit, man, whether it tops out at 59 or $69, I don't think it's really that big of a difference, to be honest with you. But I don't know, man. I mean, like basically you longed the top before, or okay. The way that your message is made, it makes it kind of like it either is really good or it's really bad, and I'm not sure which one it is, man. Anyways, if the question is the top in today, I actually do think that this one does go higher in this rally. I just think it's a fucking massive loser long term. I mean, it's god awful. Yeah. Looks like I'm through all of the super chats now. Let's get through some of the chatties down here. Yeah, where is it? Deuce Vault intensifies and does. I think, by the way, Mr. Van Duysen, I just bought a new computer as well. It should be arriving in about a week now. I think they have to build it. Once we get that, now that I have my new room, I think we can do some long gaming streams. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Can't wait. Cool. All right. Ethereum for un poquito loco. Sure. We haven't looked at Ethereum today. To be fair, it's actually been acting somewhat better than Bitcoin in recent times, but on this rally, no. Let's see. Where is it in comparison to Bitcoin? Yeah, Bitcoin is objectively better on this rally right now. Look, but as long as Bitcoin's remaining in a good state, this thing should follow through as well. You do see a couple of higher lows right here and same highs. So I would still have a bullish bias on this thing. But if it loses that 2270 low right here, I would flip around and say, no. It's not bullish in the short term or medium term anymore. I'd be looking for a move back down sub 2000. Until then, it is bullish and it is more likely to see, 2650, 2800, somewhere in that pocket there, confirmed with a breakout above 2420, which is just last week's high. Yeah. Neil Cotton says hype on the daily. We kind of already looked at hype. My personal opinion is that it probably rejects, but just like the straight technical analysis would be, it's actually, you should have a bullish bias on this. You're supposed to have a bullish bias on it. You got higher lows right here, kind of in the same highs. It's wedging up against, what would be the upside boundary here. Oh, he means light, not Litecoin. Oh, okay. Oh, my apologies. Hold on. We'll go back to DJ Z's in a moment. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, I'm the fucking redact. I apologize, man. Look, I got shit wrong all the time. Not only that, but I can't even fucking read simple comments. It's bad. Still your next confirmation of a major breakout is above about 43.85 or 43.80. At that point, this thing probably just floats up to like $55 or so. But until then, I would be very, very, very keen in watching that $39 number right here. If you start to close dailies below there, I would lean into what my personal opinion is, which is this thing's going to fall big time back down to like $30. But until then, technically speaking, it is bullish. So yeah. Anyways, okay, we'll do symbol LITE. My apologies again, man. I really fucked that one up. Significantly bullish, significantly better than fucking Litecoin. And holy fuck, man, your position just went from like disastrous, like career-ending disastrous to holy shit. That's a fucking amazing investment. So you bought 250 over here. You bought 250 over here. Amazing. It's at more than 1,000. Amazing. This is an incredibly intense rally. Amazing. However, okay, I do think that this rally is going to find a high this month or next. I think that this one's extremely mature here. You're seeing extremes for a very long time on BBWP, plus the highest RSI reads I've seen all day on anything, 98. I mean, that just doesn't happen that often, man. I think it tops out this month or next. In the short term, you probably got, it is still bullish. This thing is still making new highs right now. Hidden bullish divergence, another fucking higher low on characters RSI, another phantom drive as well. It's going up more, man. 1100, whatever. I don't know where the fuck this thing goes. It's not topped out yet though, but I do think this month or next it tops out. Look, if I'm in your position, man, if I'm in your fucking position, again, I'm not your dad, I'm not telling you what to do, but if I'm in your position, I'm selling some right here. I'm selling fucking 40% right here at least. Maybe even all the way up to like, preferably up to like 80%, honestly. Yes, it very likely goes higher, but I do think that given the long-term circumstances, like you've seen the overwhelming majority of this rally, I would not fucking get super greedy in this stance. You've had an amazing investment, amazing return. The right thing to do, in my experience, is to sell some here, even though it is extremely likely to go higher. It's extremely likely to go higher from here. I just don't know how much more upside it has, and I do think that this mega rally finds a top before end of June. Probably sooner rather than later too. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that just got salvaged from like worst chart of the day or among the worst charts of the day to among the best trades that I've seen today. That's fucking incredible, man. DJ Aziz is back. He's at symbol Nokia. Nokia. We like Nokia Corporation. We make cell phone for Finnish. I think this one's got some more upside too. I remember we looked at it like a few months ago. It was actually looking pretty good then as well. I think you go up to like $15.5. Sorry, 15, 1.5, not 50. And probably do a little bit of a short-term pullback from there. I don't know what happens after that, but I do think you got some more upside here. But $15.5 to $16, just be aware. Probably going to get, some counter movement there. I'd want to come back to it after that. So yeah. Long term, I don't really have any strong opinions on this as of right now. Mr. Escobar says, Krown, I'm back. Fuck yeah, man. Good to see you. Stock PS, Pershing Square. We looked at this one last week, right? Let's see how it's doing now. Yeah, another one that's really new, man. I don't have a real opinion on this just because it's so new. Like, it's literally less than a couple weeks old, man. So you don't want my opinion on this because I don't have an opinion on this. And if I did have an opinion on this, I'd just pull it straight out of my fucking asshole. The only thing I can tell you is what you already know. It's bullish. Probably going up more. How much more? I don't fucking know. I have no way of knowing this thing is way too new. We can't even populate like any indicators, barely even a 5 EMA. It's just not useful right now. So unfortunately, man, I'm really sorry, but I just don't have anything of value to say in this instance. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Mr. Van Doysis says, Krown, seriously, keep your back door unlocked. Wait, what?
What?
I'll be there in 12 hours, okay? Install the 12... Oh, now we're talking. Oh, my God. 1212 AD plus some espresso. Actually, you know what's really fucked up, Mr. Van Duysen? I spent like 2 hours trying to get that mod to work. Or no, it was the Lord of the Rings one. Yeah, the 1212 one does work. That's right. The 1212 one does work, but the Rise of Mordor, the Dawnless Day one, you have to have like an older computer in order for it to work, which sucks. Like... I have a fucking supercomputer. I want to use this bitch. But no, it only works on older technology, apparently. Something like that, man. Kind of sucks. Anyways, Balzer says, Palantir, please. Yeah, man. This is something, I do still have a core position in this, but it's not a big position, and I do think it is going lower here. And I actually would like to pick it up lower. It's had many chances. So, okay, if you want sort of just like the super neutral, unbiased analysis, it's actually very simple. In fact, don't even need all of this right there. You just need two boundaries: last month's high, last month's low. As long as you're offsetting between there, it's still consolidation. I would say objectively, this is a bearish consolidation. You got lower high, lower high, lower high, and same lows. That is bearish. Duh. In fact, the resolution of this point should be 126.25. Now, if you want to play it by the book, you'd say, okay, whichever side it breaks, that's your direction. I would say it is absolutely a bearish bias here just because of those lower highs. And if it does break below 126.25 on a weekly closing basis, we're looking at a move towards somewhere around $90, let's say. I would prefer to be a buyer around there personally. Quarterly time frame, not getting much from this. Weekly time frame, if anything, it's bearish. Only way I'd flip around my opinion and be bullish is if it did reclaim 156.25 to the upside. If it does that, I'm bullish. I will buy it there. I'll be happy to buy it there. But until then, yeah, I'm not going to do it here. I'll either buy it higher or I'll buy it lower, but not here. I don't like it here. In my opinion, that's not a good setup here. Cool. All right, we got through that one. Elon is a conduit for DOD money, whatever that means. All good, Benny Blanco. Hey, all good, man. Thank you for that positive message. That's awesome, man. Krown trading on the Spankmaster 5000 with 18 monitors. Oh, I only need 3 monitors, and one of them needs to be appropriated to Pornhub.com, and all good from there. But yeah, man. Yeah. Should bring back VHSs, or what are they? VHS or DVDs? Is it a VHS? Is that what it's called? Is that what it's, remember when you had to like rewind that shit too? Bring it back to the store and be like, I don't, it's my brother's. It's my mom's. She's a freak. Hey, Krown, can you take a look at TAN? It's been riding the 5 EMA on the, okay, let's check it out. It was TAN, right? Yeah, TAN. It's a solar ETF. Ooh, that could actually be kind of good. I just got solar installed on my own home. Yeah, VHS. For whatever reason, it's not loading here, which is strange. Maybe. Yeah, okay, it's one of these charts. Okay, I see. I do like it on the reversal here. I do think that the reversal is real, actually. I think that this thing's heading back up. It's getting ready for a move back to like 75, 80, 85 bucks, something like that. Currently trading at 63. If it was going to reject, it should have done it right here at 58. Instead, it actually it reclaimed it. So that is important. That is strong, and that is respectable. And I'd be looking for further upside from that. Same thing on the quarterly. I think you're going back up to somewhere around 80 bucks or so. Yeah, not bad at all, actually. Not bad at all. NVIDIA daily weekly earnings are on May 20th, huh? I don't think NVIDIA is the most interesting thing recently. I mean, yeah, it's doing well here, but I just think there's been more interesting things in the more short term. But yeah, it's breaking out right here. It wants to go higher. I'd be looking for this rally to get up to like somewhere between 236 to 242, something like that. Yeah. If you see it get up there before earnings, you're probably going to get a pullback on earnings. So just something to be aware of. Remember mini discs? Actually, no, I don't think I do. I remember floppy disks. 8-track. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Asti, bring it back. Blast from the past. Remember in your car, you used to have, in my day, you used to have a fucking CD that you burned from your computer by going on limewire.com and what was the other one? Napster. You'd burn a CD. So you'd have to like go and download your shit, which you'd probably just get like 50 viruses on top of that. So then your computer just becomes unusable. And then you burn it on a CD and you're like, holy shit, I did it. I fucking did it. And then you put that CD in your car and then you have to, there was like no indication of what song is what. So you have to like scroll through all your fucking CDs and songs and shit on your 8-player, DVD or CD drive or whatever the fuck it is. Somehow we made it work in those days. And that was mind-blowing technology as well. Crazy how fast things go, man. Crazy how fast things go. Grokster, Napster. Yeah, it's Napster. Yeah, everyone that. WinMX. I do remember that one too, yeah. I remember LimeWire. Yeah, it was LimeWire. And then maybe there's another one too. Natural gas futures, sure. Can look at that. Probably getting to the end of the stream though. I just realized we've been here for like a long time. Why can't I pick up the futures? Where are the futures? Where are the futures at? There they are. Don't like it that much. I think you got some upside here, but I don't like it that much. I think you probably go up to like 313, 312, whatever. Something like that. We had tapes, yeah. Now I can't get rid of my CD Bible. Yeah, man. Yeah, Pirate Bay, yeah. But that was like way after the fact. That's when you had BitTorrents. That was recent. That was like 10 years ago. Yeah, I remember that name too. Oh man, yeah, cassette makings. Yeah, people had cassettes. Oh my God, yeah, crazy shit, man, crazy shit. Ever heard of DXYZ? It's kind of like VCX, but with more SpaceX exposure. Yeah, we can check it out. I'm just curious though. What's like the premium that you pay on these things? Destiny Tech. Wait, do I have this right? Yeah, I do. Yeah, not as good, unfortunately, as VCX. VCX is the one that had the crazy move, but I'm going to research this one just to like see what it actually is, what the stats are on it. Yeah, it's closed-in management. Look, I think it's probably good here. I mean, you're probably going to pull back after retesting the previous high on this rally, but that should be a buy. This thing's probably bullish. Yeah, crazy move though this past week. 2x in a week. Not bad as well. Yeah, I remember you used to get like mails from your from your internet provider saying like they're gonna, litigate against you or shut you down if you continue to, stream these things or steal these things, then all those people just gave the fuck up. Like that was a game you could never win. Can't win that game against the internet, unfortunately. It is what it is. Hello, sir. Could you ask you to take a look at RDW? Sure, we can do that. I think we'll probably shut it off after this one, though. Redwire. Not bad here on the daily. Look, I think it's going higher on the daily. Actually, no. This thing is probably okay long term, but I think it's going higher here on this rally. I think it goes back to like 14 and a half. I would declare the next sort of mega breakout if it can close a weekly above 14.55. At that point, I'd be looking for this thing to, go up to like $20 or so. But for now, short term up, medium term up, see what happens around about 14.55. If it can reclaim that, good. If it can't, then bad. Chief Twit says, pump? Oh God. Is this still a thing? Pump fun. This thing? Are you talking about pump fun? Yeah, it's a shit coin. God, we almost got through a stream without shit like this. No, we didn't. We did a few things like this. I don't know, man. Look, long term it's bad. Long term it's just a game of looking for the next lower high. Is this where the next lower high is going to be? I don't know. Because if it does take a leg up, it's going to be about two. It's going to be like somewhere around here. That's where I think it's. That's where I'd prefer to short it if I was going to short it, honestly. I don't know. I don't have a good opinion on this, a good read on this. Just long term, the game is down, and the game, in my opinion, is just look for lower highs. Don't ever long some like this. Because, these rallies do happen, but they come out of nowhere. It's very difficult to guess when they're going to be. So it's a lot easier to acknowledge that, oh, shit, we have a lower high, right? Or, we have a local high and a reversal right here. Okay, get short. That's a lot easier of a trade than, oh, I think it's my pump now. Yeah, something like that, man. All right, cool. Okay. Yes. We shall end things there. A nice, good stream from the new room. I'll be working on more things with the setup over the coming weeks. In fact, we're going to have an even more crazy setup that we're really building towards, which will come in like a few months, honestly. But baby steps for right now. Anyways, we'll end things on that note. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone joining in. As always, been a pleasure speaking with you on this Monday morning. Always fun doing these streams. And man, it's the community that makes this like worthwhile and makes it actually engaging and really, really fun actually. So yeah, we'll sign off on that note. We'll be back on with just another regular video analysis tomorrow for Tuesday. And then as usual, Wednesday and Friday, some more live stream action. So we shall reconvene a little bit later. Until then, take care, much love, and